Hey guys, welcome to Powell Music. This is part two of the previous video, which I'm talking about some of my favorite albums that released in 2022. Like always, be sure to like and subscribe here on the channel. Piece of shit car. Be sure to like and subscribe here on the channel, Powell Music. Hit the notification bell so you know when these next videos are going to be coming out. And then the links above me give some extra content as well. You have the Twitch, twitch.tv/JPowell Music, where I talk about music Friday on a Saturday, discuss Friday's releases on a Saturday, just everything that's come out in general. Usually they're quick and painless, but fun to listen to and to watch. And then also the Instagram, feel free to follow me if you'd like. And my song whip for the music that I make. So, continuing part two here of the albums that I care for so far for 2022. I'm going to keep scrolling down here. So we ended with talking about Brent Faiyaz and how I need to listen to that album. Unfortunately, that's not one of the albums that I can recommend. IDK Simple. This isn't bad. It's a pretty good project. He does a collab with K Tronada. It's a good project. I wouldn't I don't think it's anything greater than that, to be honest. I did like IDK's last project. It was pretty solid. 1995 is my favorite song on there. But yeah, it was good. Good vibes here. Definitely memorable. But yeah, that's all I can say about that. Fabio Foreign Bible, didn't care for it, to be honest with you guys. It's whatever. I thought it was fine, but not interesting of mine. But to talk about albums that I recommend, in particular, that I really like that came out, Mahal, Tori Moy. Phenomenal project. If you are a fan of just like live instrumentation, alternative type music, slight R&B sprinkle in there, Tori Moy is your boy. I've been following this guy for a while. I have a lot of his music. He's a really talented guy. I just like how he curates the music, how he puts it together. I like his writing. I like his vibe a lot. Mahal's really dope. Definitely has an old school vibe to it. A very traveling, sense for the project. But great album. Highly recommend it. One of the best that's come out this year. I listened through Kid Cudi's album Intergalactic, which is it's technically kind of a soundtrack to the Netflix show, I believe. It's cool. It's cool. I think Kid Cudi's made better stuff, but I mean, he's specifically making it for a TV show. So I think that's a little different. I think the creative process is a bit different. So I can't really take points away from that because he's creating it for another artistic medium. I think it's a little different. I don't know. Maybe an interesting conversation in the future to have. Yeah, yes, I need to listen to this guy, Cool It Down. Fortunately, isn't on my list that I can recommend because I haven't listened to it. I listened to two songs. They're pretty good, but Earth Gang Ghetto Gods is good. Super intense. Intense beats. Peace Fly God. Unfortunately, I think that was a disappointing album that West Side Gun has put out, so unfortunately, I cannot recommend that one. Whereas Hermes, for instance, on the other hand, very good. Let's see here. What else is released so far this year, man? I feel like there hasn't been a whole lot of great music. Some good music. Kehlani's album, Blue Water Road, was good. Unfortunately, I haven't gone back to it. It doesn't mean it's a bad project, but it was a good album. It was a pretty good album, so I recommend it. If you haven't listened to it, listen through it definitely, but tell me if you go back to it. Fortunately, I haven't gone back to it. Black Keys, Dropout Boogie. Unfortunately, this is a very disappointing album from the Black Keys for me. I just feel like they're running out of steam. Brothers, to me, is their most cohesive project. My favorite album from them is, I'm one of those fans, unfortunately, where it's like, man, your first album was the best, the big come up. Classic album to me. Blues, rock, two-piece band. Technically there's three because you hear a bass line. But yeah, Black Keys, I don't know what's up with you guys. The last album they came out with was a cover album or a album that they had covers, I should say. Um, but yeah, I don't wasn't really a fan of that of this guy, Dropout Boogie. Lil Durk's 7220, solid project. I actually really like that one. Yeah, definitely a good project there. Boldy James and the Real Man, Killing Nothing. Pretty good, pretty good. Probably not the best. So let me not mention the things that I think are meh that I wouldn't recommend. Defeats the purpose of the video, right? I will recommend this: Rock Marciano and the Alchemist. An Alchemist, the Elephant Man's Bones. Very good, very good. So like how I mentioned how God Don't Make Mistakes. Those beats didn't really care for. I think Alchemist really did his thing on this, you know. So I think they definitely work well together. I would like to see a future project from them as well. You got Action Bronson, the Cocodrillo Turbo. Definitely a different project that they've released, and Alchemist did have his hands on this as well. I'm not sure if it was on the entire project, but what he did have on it, very impressive, very good stuff. So definitely recommend that. Let's see what else we got cooking up here. Oh man, I need to have a separate video on this. I'm not going to talk about this at the moment because this needs a separate video just for context because I can rant about this pretty hard. So I'm going to skip that one. I will have a separate video for it though. Promise you. So let's see. Death Cab for Cutie, I've mentioned on the show already. I highly recommend it, that album. Definitely. Let's see. Small World, Giveon. I can get through Giveon stuff. It's a good album for what I listen to, but you kind of have to be in the mood for that. For that type of music, huh? Mars Volta. I've obviously, if you're a follower on the channel, you know that I'm a Mars Volta fan. So that's one. But two, I think this is a great album. It's exactly the album that I think they were going to give, and I think they delivered. For anyone who's a Mars Volta fan, that if they liked Octahedron and they kind of liked Not Tourniquet, they would love this album. That's kind of my equation. If you hated Octahedron, if you hated Not Tourniquet, you're probably not going to like this. But yeah, it's a good project. Good project. Definitely will go back to listen to in the future. Ari Lennox, A-Sex Location. Good project. Nothing really stuck to me. It's not a butter shape. It's not a shea butter baby. It's not a shea butter baby, but it's a good project. It's going to listen to. So it's enough for me to recommend to listen to. Can't say that is anything beyond that. The game, Drillmatic, Heart versus Mind. I did like that song specifically, Heart versus Mind. Everything else, it's definitely skippable. Let's see. What other albums can I recommend for y'all? Let's see. NLE Choppa. Talked about it in the first part of the video for the weekend. Obviously, I would recommend that album. Big fan of that one. And we already discussed this one. This is kind of going into singles, it seems like. Yeah Bay. I haven't checked that album out. I heard that one's supposed to be good. So I would recommend to check it out. I can't recommend it as an album part of the year, but definitely one I would probably take a listen to. Let's see. I'm probably nearing the end of this album list here because I'm not seeing anything that's new that I'm seeing that I would recommend. Don't know why my screen did that. Let's see if it's still on. Yeah, it's still on. Let's see. Yeah. As you can see, not a lot of albums that's come out that I've really cared for. Texas Moon, I've listened to a little bit of it. Leon Bridges and Khruangbin, I think it's pretty good. I personally like the Khruangbin and the Farkature, not Ali Farkature, but the album's called Ali because it's in remembrance of Vyar. I forgot the guy's first name, but his father. It's named after his father, and they collabed together, Khruangbin and them. Fantastic album titled Ali. Very, very good. Very, very good. But this album's pretty good. It's more of it's a shorter album. I wouldn't even consider it an album. It's more of an EP. But let's see what else. What else is on the horizon here? I think that's about it. I think I'm gonna close with that. I don't think there's too much more that came out that I would highly recommend for y'all. I think I mentioned pretty much everything because even just merely scrolling, I'm not seeing anything. Yeah, I've already mentioned Bjork. I've already mentioned that. Yeah. Yep. I'm just going to stop here. So that is about it, guys. That is about it. So hopefully, if you haven't checked out the second video or the first video, check out the first video because I talk about some albums that came out earlier this year. So I gave some praise on some decent albums there. So this is the part two there. But again, the year isn't over. So if that Metacritic list from the first video, if it is in fact wrong, then we'll have some more up our sleeves as far as some surprises or whatnot. But as far as for now, we'll just have to wait and see. But until then, again, J Powell Music signing off here. Be sure to check out, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys next video.